Hi, and welcome to Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm sharing with you a tasty little cookie called a lemon whippersnapper. Today's recipe for lemon whippersnapper cookies comes from my dear friend Hilary. She's a childhood friend of mine who comes from a long line of very classy and wonderful women. And this recipe is from her grandmother, her Mimi. And I am so honored that she was willing to share it with me. Hilary is such a thoughtful friend, and several years ago she brought me this big box of cookies at Christmas time. And one of them, my absolute favorite, was this lemon whippersnapper cookie, which I had never tried before. It's kind of like a crinkle cookie. We're gonna roll the dough in some powdered sugar and it gets nice and kind of crinkled on top. But it has this really soft and fluffy, but also kind of chewy texture. They are so, so delicious. When Hilary shared the recipe with me, I was actually kind of surprised because there are only 3 ingredients and it is super simple to put together. I'm starting with 1 box of lemon cake mix. So I just have this Duncan Hines Lemon Supreme mix here. That's what I could find at my store. I had to be careful though because one of my stores only had lemon pound cake, but you want like a regular cake texture. You don't want anything too dense. Then I have 1 beaten egg here, and then 2 containers of thawed whipped topping. So this comes frozen and you just want to leave it in the fridge for a few hours, or you can just pop it onto your countertop for a little bit so that it softens up. And now we're just going to whip it all together. Now, Hilary cautioned me not to overmix the batter, so as soon as I saw that all the ingredients were incorporated, I stopped mixing. We have this delicious smelling, light and fluffy mixture here, and you better believe I'm gonna be licking these beaters because it smells so, so lemony and tasty. Before we bake these cookies, I have to refrigerate the batter for a little bit. So I'm gonna cover this with some plastic wrap and pop it in the fridge for a couple hours, and then we're gonna scoop them out with my tablespoon cookie scoop and roll them in some powdered sugar before we bake them. My cookie batter has finished chilling in the fridge for a couple of hours, so now I'm going to take my tablespoon cookie scoop here and I'm going to scoop out a little bit of the batter, roll it around in some powdered sugar, and then spread them out on my baking sheet. Now, Hilary also mentioned to me that it's really important that you either put parchment paper on your cookie trays, or I have like a silicone baking mat here to make it a truly non-stick surface, because otherwise they will definitely stick. So just be aware of that. I'll link to my silicone baking mats in my description box below in case you're curious to go looking for them yourself. So the original recipe called for just a half a cup of powdered sugar, but Hilary mentioned that she always uses a lot more than that. So I went ahead and put about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar just in this shallow pie dish. Makes it really easy to roll the little cookie balls around and coat them in the powdered sugar. And then I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and these are gonna bake just for about 8 to 10 minutes. They're not gonna get brown around the edges, they're just gonna set up. So I'm gonna keep a close watch on them, and then we get to give them a try. The cookies baked in my oven for exactly 8.5 minutes at 350 degrees. And mine actually did turn a little bit lightly golden brown on the top, but you just want to make sure that they set. Now, Hilary, you might want to avert your eyes if you're watching this, because my first batch of cookies and my second batch did not go according to plans. I accidentally used a cookie scoop that was a little bit too large. I used my medium cookie scoop. The cookie scoops that I use are the OXO brand, and they have different sizes, small, medium, and large. And you really want to use the small scoop. That's exactly a tablespoon. That's going to be the perfect size, and that 8 to 10 minute baking time is what you need for that size of cookie. The first couple batches of cookies that I baked kind of fell apart and didn't set up, and they just weren't working. But once I downsized to the tablespoon measuring scoop, it worked out perfectly. So I'll be sure to link to that OXO small measuring cookie scoop in the description box below. I made sure to let the cookies cool completely on the tray on top of just like a wire cooling rack. And then I wanted to show you this too. Do I have it here? Yes, okay. So I used my fish turner spatula. You can use any kind of metal spatula you want, but this has a nice thin edge and I could get right under the cookies because Hilary was not kidding. They definitely stick, even on the parchment paper and the silicone baking mats that I use. It was a little bit tricky to get them off. So it's nice to use a metal spatula to really wiggle underneath there and get the cookies off all in one piece. Now I finally get to give one of these lemon whippersnappers a taste. Now just be careful because they are a delicate cookie, but when you bake them in that small size, they'll hold together a little bit better. Here we go. These are amazing. Like I said before, they're light and fluffy, but they're a little bit chewy on the outside. It's so unique. Because of that powdered sugar, it has almost like a meringue-like taste and texture. It's so cool. And of course, they have that light lemony flavor. It's not too overpowering. You know what's really interesting about these cookies is that Hilary's family eats these traditionally at Christmas time. And in fact, I actually make a lemon and cornmeal rosemary cookie at Christmas time too, which like screams the holidays to me. But I also think of lemon as like a fresh spring and summer flavor too. And these are perfect for this time of year. Thank you so much to Hilary for sharing this amazing family recipe with me. These are absolutely out of this world. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Anne's Family Recipe. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with another family recipe.
For the full recipe, check the description box below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen.